Hi, I'm Laura and I'm here at Cats Protection in Hazelmere, and today I'm here with this lovely cat. His name's Bruiser and he is super friendly. I hope you can hear his purrs. I don't think they're going to stop the whole time I'm here. He just loves attention. Today I've got a story for you, and today's story is the long-necked sheep. So I hope you're going to enjoy hearing about this very special sheep. There once was a farmer with a small flock of sheep who lived on the green slopey slopes by the creek. The sheep loved to play and roll in the grass, to frolic and leap, and they loved to take baths. The sheep were quite proud of their white woolly fluff, so when it came to baths they couldn't get enough. They'd splish and they'd splash in the Waukaroo Creek. They'd scrub from their nose right down to their feet. One day while these sheep were all sudsing and soaking, the farmer's old truck came a-chugging and choking. It bumpety-bumped through the green grassy field. The truck chug-a-lugged, then let out a squeal. It pulled up right up next to the Waukaroo Creek. It pulled up right next to those bath-taking sheep. The farmer got out and he walked to the back of his old rusty truck. Then he opened the hatch. Out walked a creature so tall and so lean. This was something these sheep never had seen. It looked like a sheep with a long lanky neck. It had woolly fluff that was spotted and specked. The farmer patted this creature and rubbed at its nose. Then he got back in his truck and away he drove. As the farmer's old truck bumped away through the pasture, the sheep stood and stared, then exploded with laughter. Those sheep laughed and laughed till their woolly sides hurt. They laughed at this long-necked sheep full of dirt. "You're weird," they all shouted. "You don't look like us. Your long neck and speckles look ridiculous." The long-necked sheep stood there, a tear in his eye. As the sheep left him, he started to cry. He thought to himself, "Then I am no good. I'll never fit in. I don't look like I should." As the sheep ran away from this strange-looking thing, they jumped and they skipped and then started to sing. What a silly, spotted, long-necked sheep! Then, quick as a flash, they jumped back in the creek. The long-necked sheep watched them with fluff full of bubbles. Then he had an idea. "I'll solve all my troubles." He ran to the edge of the Waukaroo Creek. Then he jumped right in with those bath-taking sheep. He scrubbed at his spots as hard as he could, but soon he realised it would do him no good. The spots were all stuck there. That's how he was made. It wasn't just dirt that could be washed away. No, those white woolly sheep really did laugh. They laughed at this long-necked sheep and his bath. "You're dirty," they hollered. "You're ugly and spotted. You'll never be clean." And away they all trotted. That poor long-necked sheep sobbed and he sighed. "Now what should I do? Now what can I try?" He thought and he thought. Then an idea struck him. Maybe if he held in his long neck they would love him. But he tried sucking in his long lanky neck. But when he tried walking he ended up in a wreck. He couldn't see straight and his brain got all dizzy. His legs wibble-wobbled, then he fell in a tizzy. The air around him exploded with laughter that rolled over the hills of the green slopey pasture. Slowly the long-necked sheep got up and walked right through the middle of that chuckling flock. He walked till he came to an old bumpy stump. Then he plopped down beside it with a floppity flump. He sat staring blankly toward the Waukaroo Creek. He'd had quite enough of those bath-taking sheep. He couldn't be like them as hard as he tried, so he sat by the old bumpy stump and just cried. Now as he sat sniffling and blowing his nose, from down by the creek a commotion arose. He quickly looked down toward the Waukaroo Creek, back towards those bath-taking white woolly sheep. The sheep were all clambering over each other, and the sight he beheld made his heart flip and flutter. "Help us," they bleated, "lest we become a feast, for close on the hills was a shadowy beast. A dark, vicious creature had the flock on the run. The long-necked sheep knew that he must be the one to save these white woolly sheep from their plight, so he charged toward the beast with all of his might. As he raced toward the flock with his long neck stretched out, one of the white woolly sheep gave a shout. "He's coming to save us, it's the strange-looking sheep." And with his head down, he pummeled the beast. With all four of his hooves wildly stomping and stamping, he trampled the beast till it ran away panting. Whimpering, it bolted away through the fence, and that white woolly flock has not seen him since. A wild cheer erupted from the dishevelled flock. They no longer desired to poke fun or to mock. "Hooray, you have saved us," the flock of sheep cried. With their hearts full of joy, they rushed to his side. "We're so glad you're different than us," they all said. "We were so full of terror and dread. You rushed to our rescue with bravery and honour. If you hadn't showed up, we would have been goners. Please forgive us for treating you like an outcast. Unique is a good thing. We see it at last." They hoisted the long-necked sheep up off the ground. With him up on their shoulders, they pranced round and round. For the rest of the day there was great celebration, feasting and dancing and much jubilation. But why did he take on this chivalrous task? Why did he save those cruel sheep, you might ask? There was more to this sheep than what the flock knew. The way that God made him had finally shone through. For he was a llama whose instinct, you see, is to chase away wolves when they try to eat sheep. And now if you go to the green slopey slopes, you'll not only find sheep, but a llama full of soap. We oughtn't to judge. We have no right to say that we're better than someone, or that they're no good, or that they don't look like we think they should. So I hope you've enjoyed today's story about this very special llama. I think Bruiser has enjoyed it. He's still purring away. I've got my next book ready, and I look forward to bringing it to you soon. Bye for now.